to see you back again.
Your first was good, man. I hope you enjoyed it.
The gentleman from Alabama is recognized for as much time as he might consume.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And Mr. Kildee, I want to personally thank you on behalf of Alabama fans all across the nation for bringing this important resolution to the House floor today. Mark Ingram is an exceptional athlete, but Mark Ingram is also an outstanding young man. And as my colleagues have noted, he won the Heisman Trophy for the first time in the history of the University of Alabama to bring this honor and distinction to our storied and beloved university. I know the people of Michigan, and especially the people of Flint, are proud of what he has accomplished.
The student, just people back in Flint supporting me, telling me that they were praying for me, that they supported me, and I was a winner. No matter what happened, it was just real important to me.
We are proud of Mark Ingram, and I thank the gentleman from Michigan and the gentleman from Kentucky for allowing all of us to pause for just a moment and say, we salute you, Mark. We're proud of you, and we know you've got a great future in front of you. And I yield back the time.
For Best Jazz Vocal Album, the nominees are Dee Dee Bridgewater, Freddie Cole, Denise Donatello, Rain Feather, Gregory Porter.
Goes to Eleanor Fagan. To Billy with Love from Dee Dee, Dee Dee Bridgewater.
Oh my God, this is a real moment. Et j'aimerais vous remercier de votre accueil. Elle avait peur, mais de vous voir debout comme ça me fait chaud au cœur. Comme toujours, merci bien.
I did not speak French at all when I decided to do the play. So I had a tutor who had to teach me how to say this play and all the dialogue in French. I served on a breakfast program in East Lansing, Michigan, when I was going to Michigan State University. If you have a belief, follow that belief. If someone tells you no, just go on around until you find that opening where someone's going to say yes. Because if you believe in yourself and if you believe in what you're doing, eventually other people are going to believe it too. If it's good, it's got to be good.
Thank you all. Thank you. Oh my
God! When you think of you and Tom and Sam, who runs Paradigm, a very influential talent agency, being three brothers from Flint who are now these kings of Hollywood. I mean, what do you think about that?
I don't know about the kings of Hollywood, but look, I mean, Sam is the guy in entertainment. Sam is the one that inspired both myself and Tommy.
Your brother Tom, of course, just bought the Detroit Pistons, and so there have been some stories in the press in Michigan, in your hometown.
Absolutely. Don Shane talked to him tonight at the Palace. Don, what was he like?
I met him for the first time and walked away going, wow, this could be great. Tom Gores was really friendly. He was engaging. He was open. He was honest. He was impressive. But maybe most of all, he was absolutely thrilled to be the new owner of the Pistons.
You know, I grew up here. I grew up in the streets of Flint, and you know, I have a lot of gratitude to the folks there.
Here's the WBA, IBF, and reigning WBC middleweight champion of the world from Flint, Michigan, the undefeated T-Rex, Carissa Shields.
Slugging it out here in the crowd is on the beat.
unanimous decision and the new undisputed women's middleweight champion of the world, the quote,
And the new undisputed middleweight champion of the world, your winner by unanimous decision.
Ask
Good evening. My name is Allie Herkenroder. I have the honor and privilege of serving as the Flint City Council President. I want to thank the mayor, the family, and the staff from the city of Flint for being with us this evening as we hear the State of the City address. This is a historic event as this is our first in-person State of the City in the Neely administration. We are very thankful to be here with you all at the Capitol Theater. With that, I would like to welcome my fellow colleagues with the Flint City Council by doing a call to order, please, Ms. Donahue.
Present.
Present. There are 5 members present. We have a quorum. That brings us down on our agenda for the reading of the Disorderly Persons City Code subsection. Any person that persists in disrupting this meeting will be in violation of Flint City Code Section 31-10, disorderly conduct, assault and battery, and disorderly persons, and will be subject to arrest for misdemeanor. Any person who prevents the peaceful and orderly conduct of any meeting will be given 1 warning. If they persist in disrupting the meeting, that individual will be subject to arrest, and violators shall be removed from the meetings. That brings us down to the Pledge of Allegiance. Dr. Lewis, do you care to lead us in the pledge?
All rise that are able. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And with that, the moment we've all been waiting for, the State of the City address. The Flint City Council would like to welcome Mayor Neely. I apologize. I got a little ahead of myself there. We are now at an invocation, which will be led by Pastor Daniel Moore.
Let's bow our heads. Gracious God, we thank you for another day in your presence, another day that you have blessed us to see. We thank you that you have brought us into this place under the administration of this mayor and this council and all that are engaged to move Flint forward, make Flint the best city that it can be. We thank you for the vision. We thank you for the visionary. And we pray your blessing and your anointing over all the work that is going to go forth to raise Flint up to be the city that you would have it to be. We pray for all of the citizens of this city, Father God. We pray your blessing upon them. We pray that you would keep us in your care and bless us as only you know how. In Jesus' name, amen.
For the second time, I would like to honor and welcome Mayor Neely to come to the stage for the State of the City address.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Flint's State of the City address with Mayor Sheldon Neely.
It is a blessing when you can get introduced 3 times before you come out. You know, today is going to be a great and awesome day, you know, and we have my pastor, that's my personal pastor from Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church, that delivered the invocation for us today. This is another great day that God has made here in the city of Flint, and I'm so honored to be your mayor here in the city of Flint and to serve you in that capacity. There's many people that I want to thank, but definitely I want to thank the City Council President, Allie Herkenroder, City Council Vice President, Dr. Liddell Lewis, and all other City Council members. You know, one of the things that we do, and I've been taught, especially by my pastor and my parents, is making sure that we can start with a clean slate. We have two co-equal branches of government here inside the city of Flint. And uniquely, I served on that branch of government for 9 years before going to the state and serving in the capacity of a state legislator. So uniquely, that gives me the opportunity to see things from many different views. So if I've ever offended any city council person, please forgive me, and let's extend the olive branch together to work better for the greater good of this community. I am so pleased to have them as my colleagues and my friends and my partners. Give them a round of applause. And I want to thank all of you for joining me here for my third annual State of the City Address. This is uniquely my third city address, but this is the first time we had the opportunity to do it in person. To protect the health and safety and welfare of residents, we had to do it by television or online to make sure that we kept health and safety and welfare of our residents together. But definitely, we have many people to thank over the period of time. We've lost many people during the pandemic. 1 million American residents died and perished through the health crisis that we experienced on a worldwide level. And to be able to address you in person, I think this is a great blessing for us to do so. But during that time, we lost many, many people here inside the city of Flint. We definitely want to make sure we take the opportunity and time to remember those individuals and making sure that we still stay safe in the city of Flint. We have to remember the protocols that got us to a better place inside the city of Flint. Wearing masks, washing our hands, maintaining social distance, and making sure that we don't spread the virus any longer. And if you have not got your vaccination shot, please do so. But definitely I want to take the opportunity for those courageous organizations that stepped up and also individuals that helped us stop the spread of this deadly virus in our community. I want to take the opportunity to thank the essential workers, doctors, lawyers, institutions like Hurley Hospital and McLaren Medical Center, and also our faith-based organizations. And just to highlight just a few, because I don't want people getting mad by me just highlighting just a few, but these places opened up their doors beyond Wednesday or Sunday to be able to vaccinate residents, to get them prepared, and to give them the shielding that they needed from this deadly virus. Bethel United Methodist Church, also Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church, Word of Life Church, and many, many others. But moreover, we needed a person with a level of expertise to make sure they guided our ship through this very difficult time. I want to take a moment to thank Dr. Lawrence Reynolds. He stepped up as our health advisor and our social navigator through this period of time where we were trying to figure out what was going on. That we understand and know that there's one deficit that you can never overcome, and that's a death deficit. But during this period of time, we lost many heroes, local heroes like Reuben Burtz, UAW legend, Dr. Nathan Berkeley, former superintendent for the Flint Community Schools. And also, we lost city workers that provided a level of service that made us all proud inside the city of Flint, like Betty Wildman, who was our transportation director for more than 2.5 decades. We named the facility in which she worked in her honor, making sure that we would never forget those heroes who gave us a level of service. Also, people like Roderick Duncan, who was our deputy treasurer of the city of Flint. And we grieve many, many more of our friends and loved ones. But I do want to take a moment, pause, to really remember a great Flintstone, my friend, my colleague, Commissioner Bryant B.B. Nolden, former 3rd Ward City Council person, 1st District County Commissioner, and the director of Burston Fieldhouse. He did so much for our community, and his vision for the north side of the city of Flint and Flint Burston Fieldhouse will carry forward his legacy. And I will ask for a moment of silence to remember these historic individuals and also my friend, my colleague, Mr. Commissioner Bryant B.B. Nolden. Thank you for that. Now I also ask you to salute them by a round of applause. Today, I'm going to forewarn you about the way that I give speeches. They're a little bit organic, and I want to thank Katie O'Neill for writing a script that we're going to loosely follow. Also, all the staff people that helped put this together, Tommy Johnson, Renata Coney Mays, also Vanessa Pringle, and all of the department heads that's here tonight in this audience. I want to take an opportunity to thank them for the work that they've done and also to put this on. I wanted to take a moment to share with you all of our accomplishments, understanding that we have overcome some challenges. We have accomplished so much in such a short period of time. We have faced a water crisis, a health crisis, civil unrest, and yes, a financial crisis. And so the theme of tonight is from crisis to recovery. Remember that, from crisis to recovery. We will point out ways that we have had accomplishments in our great city, ways that you have played a part in helping us move the city forward. Also, where we need to go next. We've been blessed by God with many things, and you're going to hear about where we've been, what we're doing now, and our vision for the future. So we would like to take and making sure that we understand the financial crisis inside the city of Flint was no easy fix by any means at all. We faced the structural deficit that we face inside the city of Flint got us not one state receivership, but two. And so we took on the challenge of saying that we were going to right-size the city of Flint's budget to do the things that were necessary, and this was no low-hanging fruit. And so we want to take a moment to thank all of those individuals who helped us through this, but most of all, I want to thank our friend, our CFO for the city of Flint, Rob Whitting. And so he took a team and developed a strategy along with other individuals. Dr. Scorsoni came in from Michigan State University to help us with that, with the help of the Mott Foundation. We funded these activities. But just to give you a glimpse of what it was when I arrived here in the city of Flint, through what we call the emasculation of communities throughout the state of Michigan with the emergency manager experiment that failed most of us here in the city of Flint, Detroit, Pontiac, and Highland Park, to name a few. But definitely, when we looked at the deconstructions of municipalities like Flint, it was very difficult to rebuild, and we are still rebuilding our infrastructure now. But the financial department in the city of Flint was decimated. Plant Moran was running the day-to-day activities for the city of Flint as a financial recovery plan. But we had to rebuild and hire in individuals with the support and help of Flint City Council to be able to put people in position to be able to help us right-size the balanced budget of the city of Flint. I am proud to say and to announce to you that we have passed 3 consecutive balanced budgets in the city of Flint. That deserves a round of applause. Blessed, fragile, but balanced. We were spending more money each year than we were taking in. And so that made the budget very difficult to balance. One of the things that we corrected very quickly once we discovered that it was a problem was that the money was being taken from the water sewer fund each year and being placed into the general fund for operation costs. That's a no-no. We've corrected that. That no longer happens here in the city of Flint. That was very key to trying to reduce water rates for you, the residents inside the city of Flint. And so we no longer subsidize the general fund operating system with money from the water and sewer fund. Failures of the past that is now corrected. And so one of the things, and we want to talk about tonight, is our partners here in the city of Flint. Not only the Genesee County Board of Commissioners, not only the Flint City Council, but also the state delegation of the city of Flint. Senator Jim Ananek, State Representative John Cherry Jr., and State Representative Cynthia Neely. I think I know her. They did a fantastic job in lobbying for us to get resources inside the city of Flint. $220 million infusion into our operational budget as it relates to our pension fix. Almost $250 million. $250 million. That is the most money the city of Flint has ever received from a state appropriation. Give our state delegation a hand. . Now, we still have work to do. We're not out of the woods just yet. But definitely, retirees, you can take a sigh of relief. Future retirees, you can take a sigh of relief as well, because that gave us a position that made our budget workable. Now, because of that infusion, it gave us about $8 to $11 million in our upcoming new budget of new dollars that we can reappropriate to be able to provide essential services for you, the residents of the great city of Flint. And also, it was no easy task, but I can't speak the words because I am not a professional in this area in finance, but I am smart enough to put qualified individuals around me to make sure that we can get the job done. As we get ready to cue and hear from our CFO, Rob Winnigan, about what the job that he did and how we're moving forward, I give it now to Mr. Rob Winnigan.
It is no secret that the city of Flint has been struggling financially for years. We have faced significant economic challenges and a large structural budget deficit caused by years of deindustrialization, state funding reductions, rapid decline in population, increased legacy costs, and emergency manager mismanagement. However, thanks to the solid fiscal diligence of Mayor Neely and his administration, we have done something that no one imagined was possible, securing funding in the state of Michigan budget to provide the city of Flint with a cash infusion of up to $220 million for our pension fund, bringing our pension fund up to 60% funded, guaranteeing our city is financially sound for generations to come. This historic moment in Flint, a promise made and a promise kept, ensures our hardworking employees and retirees can breathe easily, knowing they will receive the pension they deserve. Also, after years of rebuilding, our finance department is back to full strength. The Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada recently awarded the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting to the City of Flint Finance Department for its annual comprehensive financial report for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2021. The City of Flint Finance Department strives to each year to earn this certificate. The finance team's continued commitment to clearly communicating Flint's financial story in the spirit of transparency and full disclosure is commendable. I'm incredibly proud of the team we've assembled.
Not only that, but we have to put people in position that we trust and that we can count on. Part of his job and part of his responsibility is making sure every high-minded dollar allocated to us from Washington, D.C. or the state of Michigan will not miss its mark. It will definitely go for the benefit of residents in the city of Flint. We can count on it, but that's what we're doing here in the city of Flint. From crisis to recovery. The next, we're going to provide you with an update on our water upgrades and among other mentioned things inside the city of Flint. But the city of Flint systems are the most monitored in the state of Michigan. We have not failed one safety protocol to date as it relates to this administration. We have exceeded all marks and measurements from the EPA and also EGLE, which is our environmental protection agencies. We continue to cross all the T's and dot all the I's, making sure that the health, welfare, and safety of residents is going to be paramount here in the city of Flint. I'm proud of the work that we're doing in that capacity, making sure that we can get the highest quality level of water as we work to reduce the cost of water in this community. Department of Public Works Director Mike Brown has done a great job ensuring the water and sewer systems inside the city of Flint is up to par. And it was a retiree that went to work in Pontiac that decided to come back to his hometown where he had his roots and to become a part of a team that was moving Flint forward. Water is essential. Rebuilding trust is essential. So putting a person in that role, giving them the responsibility to do just that. So I want you to hear from our Department of Public Works Director, Mike Brown.
Hello, I am Mike Brown, and I'm the DPW Director for the City of Flint, as well as a longtime resident here in Flint. I'm here to talk about some of the accomplishments that DPW has had this year. One of our biggest accomplishments is in May of this year, we finished the GCDC pipeline, our secondary water source. Again, it's coming from here on through a water treatment plant, same process coming into the city of Flint. Thank goodness we did. In August 13th, Gliwa had a major failure of their pipe coming to the city of Flint. A 120-inch pipe blew apart, and from that caused multiple problems, triggering boiler water alert for many communities. The city of Flint was the only community not impacted from that pipe, thanks to our state-of-the-art backup system and the men and women at the water plant knowing to change over before any pressures were ever lost, and the city of Flint didn't see any hiccup during that time frame. Thanks to the significant state and federal investments, the Flint community has been upgrading the water system, which now includes that backup water source with an emergency plan to navigate any other instance that we have, like the recent Gliwa water emergency. The new backup source, as I said, was a complete success. While some of our neighboring communities had to endure water disruptions and boil water alerts, with the GCDC line, we ensured a continuous flow of safe water into our community. This is a major step forward in revitalizing Flint's water infrastructure. These state and federal improvements in our infrastructure, paid improvements to our infrastructure, are now paying off. In addition, for our water, Miller Road water main replacement has been completed. This fall, everything has been done except the final course of asphalt to be put on that road, which will be done next spring, and at that time also all the striping will be done. This water main that was replaced was approximately 78 years old and in very poor condition. This project now ensures that the residents won't be subjected to numerous water main breaks along Miller Road and disruptions to their water. I want to commend the men and women in DPW, whether in the water system, the sewer system, or our street systems. They're out there working tirelessly each and every day to make sure that you are safe in this city. And with that, I'd like to thank you and add one thing left. If you have any questions, I ask that you please email our water at City of Flint email, and someone from DPW will answer that quickly and hopefully efficiently. I thank you for your time.
I also want to take this time to thank every one of the members of our Water and Sewer Division for the great work that they've done and they're currently doing inside the city of Flint. Just to explain to you where we are, because we're going to be in depth and very real about what we're doing and very deliberate and intentional about our success here in the city of Flint. 33 units of government inside of Genesee County, 33 villages, townships, and municipalities. Only one takes their water from the Gliwa system. Some comes from wells and the others come from GCDC. We were signed into a 30-year agreement that we still have 27 years to go. But we know with aging infrastructure, we have to work with repairs, making sure that we keep a flowing, pure system of water for you, the residents of this great city. Now, it's required by state and federal law to have a primary system and a secondary delivery system. What got us into trouble in the first place was Flint River was our secondary system. So when I came into office, we went to work, my team and I, trying to build the secondary delivery system of water. We had to put $17 million to their effort to build a secondary delivery system of water for residents inside the city of Flint. To be able to share with you so you can get a better understanding about how we built that system and what that system does and what its goals are and what it's going to accomplish for us as residents. we've developed an animation program for you to be able to get you good information. One thing that's very toxic in our community is bad information. Facebook is not a good source of information for us. Getting real information and being change agents and ambassadors of hope, we have to get the good messaging out there. So now I want you to take a look at the animation that we created to show you the great work which we started and completed for you, the residents.
Flint has one of the nation's newest water infrastructure systems. This multi-million-dollar system has been upgraded to include a high-tech chemical feed building to safely and effectively treat the water, underground vaults to enhance water flow and blending, and an emergency backup storage system. Together, they work to ensure residents have access to safe drinking water in adherence with the State of Michigan Safe Drinking Water Act. Key to Flint's water system is Lake Huron, the source of our water. The upgraded water system also features a first in the city's history: 2 pipelines, a primary pipeline for daily use and a secondary pipeline for use in the event of an emergency. The secondary pipeline has more than 7 miles of newly installed pipes. Flint's main water source and pipeline includes the Great Lakes Water Authority GLWA pipeline, where raw water is pulled from Lake Huron for treatment, and the Genesee County Drain Commission GCDC pipeline, where raw Lake Huron water is pulled from the Carignan Water Authority KWA for treatment. Treated water from the GLWA pipeline travels into the updated control station number 2, which features a new valve system. The treated water then travels to an underground vault where it is blended with treated water from the GCDC pipeline. Chemicals are then added to meet safe drinking water standards. The water is now ready to be stored and distributed. Flint's water storage and distribution system includes 2 separate routes for water to travel to homes and businesses. The first route is the most straightforward, where water from the vault flows directly to homes and businesses. The second route involves water flowing to the water tower, where it is held for distribution into homes and businesses. A 2-way valve system inside the water tower pushes water into a 20 million gallon underground tank and then backup reservoir, the Cedar Street Reservoir. Later this year, an additional underground water storage and pumping station system, the Dorrit Reservoir, will hold another 20 million gallons of reserve water to support homes and businesses in the event of an emergency. To learn more about the Flint's water infrastructure system, a model for other municipalities with aging water infrastructures, visit www.cityofflint.com/progress report.
At the time, we did not know that we were averting a crisis. Had we not had that secondary delivery system up and ready to go and ready to be placed online, the city of Flint, the only entity in Genesee County that takes water from the Gliwa system, would have been adversely impacted. We were ready to go. Thank you, Flint City Council, for approving the money to make sure that we got the secondary delivery system online. Thank you for your support. Give them another round of applause. From crisis to recovery, the water service line replacement project is about 97% completed, and we are getting closer to completion every day. But the good news is this: the EPA has granted the city of Flint a 1-year extension of funding to complete the remaining 3% of residential addresses that are still in need of replacement. But this is what we need from residents inside the city of Flint. Before we can come to replace the service lines at your home, we need you to consent and give consent for us to do so. We want to make sure, working together in partnership as a team, to get this project done. The state of Michigan understands it, the EPA and our federal friends understand that, and that's why our city administrator, through his negotiation, he worked out a negotiated deal to be able to keep the funding in place until we can get to next spring to replace the remaining 3% of the water lines, making sure we get the lead totally out. That deserves a round of applause. and don't worry, I'm going to only ask you to clap about maybe 20 more times before this is all over. You know, we continue to work hand in hand with our partners. Now, high-minded dollars, the American Rescue Plan dollars, we are currently providing residents with the opportunity to be able to get an application and all the organizations to be able to move forward, and those applications will be released in the early part of next year. But before we went to do that, we obligated about 32% of those dollars already with the support of Flint City Council, working to get our water rates to a level that we can all afford and be comfortable with. We took some of our American Rescue Plan dollars and provided a $300 water payment for all residential users inside the city of Flint. Through our study, we understand that $1,200 is the average water cost for residents every year. $300 represents 1/4 of your water bill. And so we thought that it would work to the benefit of residents to provide them with a 1/4 water rate reduction for this particular year. We're working with our water rate study to try to figure out ways to reduce costs of water inside the city of Flint. We believe that water is a human right. This cost us about $8.6 million from our American Rescue Plan dollars. And so we want to make sure that water is affordable for each and every one of the residents here inside the city of Flint. And together, we can get the job done to rebuild trust through our transparency and follow through. We can get there from crisis to recovery. Now, in 2021, every major American city saw a rise in crime during the pandemic. Flint was no exception. In July of 2021, we declared a state of emergency around gun violence in our community. This allowed us to get the necessary resources from our partners, Genesee County Sheriff's Department. Thank you, Sheriff Chris Swanson. Also, the state of Michigan, MSP. Thank you, state of Michigan and Governor Gretchen Whitmer. We brought to bear a real tactic to be able to reduce crime in our community. But under the leadership of our lead law enforcement officer, Chief Terrence Green, we developed a strategy, and I'm proud to report major crime is down inside the city of Flint. And I give Chief Green most of the credit, but I give myself more credit because I hired him. Homicides are down 36% inside the city of Flint. When we're watching across the country, the things and the tragedies that's happening. Last year, 611 mass shootings in America. This year, more than 500. Last year, more than 288 school shootings. This year, they're on the rise. We can just look down the road to what happened in Oxford. But through our leadership and our partnership, we're able to try to avert these type of crises. We have delegated active shooter training for our philanthropic partners, our public school system, private school systems, and also faith-based organizations. We've offered the specialized training that's necessary to make sure that we protect the very thing that's very important to all of us, and that's our lives, right? So now, let's hear from Chief Green.
I'm Chief Terrence Green of the City of Flint Police Department, and I would like to proudly report that the City of Flint, Michigan, has experienced a significant reduction in homicides and violent crime during this year, 2022. This reduction in gun violence and violent crime was due to a concerted effort with local, state, federal law enforcement partners, Genesee County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, the community, and the Flint City Council. We will continue to aggressively combat violent crime and gun violence within this city of Flint by implementing 3 projects. Number 1 will be implementing a cold case unit, a gun buyback program, specifically assault rifles, and to continue aggressively recruiting fine men and women to be part of this police department. with you, the residents of the city of Flint, support, we will continue to thrive as a police department.
That's a great picture of me and Chief Green. You know, we started our relationship when we were about 4 years old in pre-K. He's been a great partner and a great friend, but also a trustworthy officer, a great visionary to how to suppress crime and control crime in our community. We have to think about innovative ways to suppress crime with the reduced level of officers that we have, and we're currently building the rank back up. But definitely, as we talk about American Rescue Plan dollars, $94.7 million was blessed we were blessed to have those dollars here in our community. But we took some of those dollars to be able to use it for new innovative ideas. As we talked about the gun bounty program, it's not just a gun buyback program, but what it is a gun bounty program where we give bigger dollars for those weapons that we're trying to take off the streets. The weapons, those assault weapons that can penetrate walls of your home, that can just mow people down in multitudes, excuse me. But definitely, we're working with the Detroit Crime Commission to be able to bring that program and bring it to bear that has been proven and tested as worked to get guns off the streets of the city of Flint. To date, this administration has taken 2,088 guns off the street. Give our officers a round of applause. When we secure a weapon that's possessed illegally by someone, we take that weapon off the street and we destroy it. That weapon will never be used to commit a crime, to harm us or our families ever again. It's important to understand that we have to be aggressive and intentional about the way that we fight crime here in the city of Flint. The initiation of a cold case unit inside the city, with our friends from the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation providing us with a grant and using some of our American Rescue Plan dollars, we have initiated a new cold case program that we will populate with the personnel needed in the new year. Cold case, what does that really mean for us here in the city of Flint? Our patrol officers do a magnificent job, but they can't be everything to everyone at all times. When they arrive to a scene, they have to keep the peace, evaluate the environment, see what's going on, become a social worker, a clergyman. They can't do it all. But then they also have to go to work to try to find out who committed the crime. Sometimes time goes by. As we look for tips, we need you, the residents of the city of Flint, to participate in making sure that we can get the necessary information to solve crimes. But now we will have a dedicated cold case unit inside the city of Flint. Also, a cultural thing here in our American society, a no snitch rule. We don't tell, we don't talk. But sometimes we don't talk because we're afraid of what may happen to us. So we developed a partnership with Genesee County Prosecutor David Layton for a witness protection program. And this is the first of its kind. Municipalities having a witness protection program. But we thought it would be important if we're asking you to participate in crime suppression by giving us information, we have a responsibility to you to make sure that you're safe. And so we have initiated these new programs, finding our partners to fund these programs, and we're moving our communities further ahead from crisis to recovery. I also want to encourage you to call Crime Stoppers. If you see something, say something. By providing anonymous tips, makes our community safer for you, for all of us here inside the city of Flint. Also, through our American Rescue Plan dollars, we are aggressively recruiting new officers by providing up to $7,500 bonus for signing new officers here in the city of Flint. That's also extended to our firefighters. So if you know someone, tell them the city of Flint is hiring. I see two fine candidates right down here, Darrell and Elliott. If you guys know someone that wants to engage law enforcement, this is the place to do it. We have a fine, motivated unit with our chief leading the way with innovative programs. But once they finish the academy, they will get a $5,000 bonus to sign on to be a police officer here in the city of Flint. If they come from a different policing unit, if they come from the county or Oakland County, we'll provide them with a $7,500 transfer bonus to be officers here in the city of Flint. And we also want to make sure that we talk about these things so we can recruit the officers in which we need. We definitely want to thank our county sheriff's department for the partnerships in which they enlisted for our downtown area. Our downtown area, trying to secure it to make it a destination site for residents to come and feel safe. They stepped up to help us through a grant from the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation. The county sheriff's department patrols about a 4-mile square area in the downtown area. And this allows us to deploy and dispatch other officers, needed officers throughout our community. This partnership works. And this is what we talk about: prayer, planning, and partnerships. Our community partners extend just beyond the governmental ranks, but it definitely has to extend to you, the residents of the city of Flint. And as we talk the American Rescue Plan dollars, $18 million of those dollars will be obligated for residential programs like home winterization and upgrades to our homes. But we definitely have to get it to the people that are most need in this community. Also, our fine arts programs, museums, libraries, our downtown area is beautiful. We just recently will receive a state park in our downtown area. And this is through the great work of our Genesee County delegation once again, and also the work from our governor, Gretchen Whitmer. We want to make this community a destination site for our community. The key ingredient to success is members of a team that really speaks to it. So with that, I want to talk about our key players and the roles that we have to play. We have to have a mayor, and we have to have a council of like thinking. We have to have residents, teachers, clergymen. Far too long we have preached on a problem and not activated on a solution. We have to be better. We have to be better neighbors to one another. We have to come forth with great ideas, solution-driven ideas. And one of those leaders here in our community to attract economic development and growth inside the city of Flint is Samantha Fountain. And we talk about economic growth and rebuilding our community and rebranding our community to retain small businesses, to attract new businesses and corporations. We have made the ground very fertile for just that. I'll talk a little bit more about that after we'll hear from Samantha.
Throughout the year, our economic development team at the City of Flint has worked really hard to secure a $17 million financial incentive package between ourselves, the county, and our state partners. This financial incentive package is allowing Ashley Capital to redevelop the old Buick City site in North Flint. Once this project is complete, it will result in $300 million in investment and 3,000 good-paying jobs. Our first year of the Community Navigator Pilot Program in Flint, sponsored by the SBA, has been a success. We have serviced over 175 entrepreneurs and small businesses that has resulted in them accessing over $950,000 in capital for their business. Economic development staff is here to serve you as a concierge service. Whether you have a large business and you're interested in tax abatements, or you're a small business and you are interested in putting up a new sign, we are here to help you through the process. No matter what it is at the city level, we'll help you figure it out. The City of Flint is open for business.
Can someone say game changer? Be enthusiastic about it. Can you say game changer? Right, Ashley Capital buying the third largest brownfield site in the state of Michigan, the old Buick City site, evacuated. We had to go through environmental cleanup with the Racer Trust program in order to be able to get this ground, this contiguous land space in the middle of the north side of the city of Flint, to get it ready to repopulate for corporations and businesses. Ashley Capital As Samantha said, a $300 million deal. It's a game changer for this community. We had to enlist our partners to get the last $17 million together to be able to complete the last environmental cleanups. Racer Trust ran out of money, but we had to put our heads together to figure out a way to not lose this investor. This is going to bring anywhere between 3,000 to 3,500 good paying jobs to our community right on the north side of the city of Flint as it goes through the poverty corridor of Genesee County. That is a game changer from crisis to recovery. It took a lot of planning, a lot of praying, and a lot of partnership. $3.25 million from our American Rescue Plan was dedicated to that activity. Another $3.25 million was dedicated from the county. And then our philanthropic partners, the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation, stepped up and put dollars into it, as well as the Michigan Economic Development Corporation of the state of Michigan put the remaining dollars in to invest here inside the city of Flint. Now, you will see ground being broke in the early part of next year. This is a game changer for us. But we have not forgot about the smaller business, our ecosystem around business and business growth. We didn't diversify our thinking in the city of Flint. It didn't happen. We had $1 billion corporation in our midst. And when they left us holding a lot. We have to diversify our thinking, the way that we are branding ourselves across the country. But the state of Michigan Small Business Association gave us a grant for $1 million to be able to help small businesses, struggling small businesses grow and to start new businesses. And we have a small video to show you some of the promotion that we do for those businesses.
Welcome to Flint's thriving small business ecosystem. The City of Flint's Office of Economic Development facilitates the Community Navigator Pilot Program, funded by the Federal Small Business Administration. We are collaborating with 8 community organizations or spokes in our hub and spoke model to provide a host of free resources for new and existing small businesses in Flint. The City of Flint serves as a hub, connecting entrepreneurs at every stage of business development with the appropriate community spokes to meet their needs. Small businesses can get free help with business plans, loan eligibility, accounting infrastructure, marketing and branding tools, and much more. We help new entrepreneurs go from concept to market and consult with existing businesses to help them grow. We can also help with tax abatements and site selection of vacant properties or existing retail spaces. Flint, Michigan is located within 10 miles of Bishop International Airport and at the intersection of 4 major highways. Flint is also home to 3 colleges and universities, world-class museums and cultural institutions, and a vibrant grassroots art community. We enjoy an extensive park system with walk and bike trails and a low cost of living with beautiful historic neighborhoods. Come and see why Flint, Michigan is a great place to live, work, and play.
From crisis to recovery, we're operating all levels through a very difficult time. We have a lot of headwinds, but we can overcome our challenges. You know, Flint songwriter, an artist, she had a line that goes, "No comparing us. It's time we rewrite our narrative. It's time that we rewrite our narrative." That is our task moving forward. Flint is a city, the birthplace of the automotive industry, the union, and the middle class. It is our home of athletic greats, musicians, artists, entrepreneurs, and trailblazers. But our best days are ahead of us. But children cannot become what they cannot see. I am going to extend the invitation to the Flint public schools, charter schools, private schools, to be able to be a part of what we're doing, to rewrite our narrative. Our children are our future. We say it, but this is the next step that we have to make inside the city of Flint. Children cannot become what they cannot see, but they will emulate what they do see. So we have to be better role models, better examples for our children. We have to tap into our intellectual capital. So when we market our community, I can tell Amazon or Google that we have a ready-made workforce here inside the city of Flint, with organizations like the United Way that steps up and sometimes outside of their comfort zone to be able to help support entities like our Flint Public Schools, or welcome to the Capitol Theater, a historic building. But definitely, we have to do what is necessary to make it happen for us here in the city of Flint. Our cute children, the investment needs to be made, but they need to understand where we come from and the greatness of this community. We need to elevate their understanding, because if they want to carry on the legacies that those have left us, are we okay, guys? Okay. If we want them to understand the legacy of greatness, truly who we are, we're not a community of victims, but of victors. We have to provide them with role models and examples. When you come to City Hall, you will get a glimpse right on City Hall front lawn. This last April, we placed a statue of Floyd J. McCree. He was the first African-American mayor of a major metropolitan city in America. In 1966, he was elected to that role. He put referendums forward for open housing to push back against soft segregation. He is a hero. We need to recognize him. When you enter the doors of City Hall, you will see 6 sculptures of great women in their own right. Edith Spencer is one of those women. She was the first African-American librarian in the Flint Public Library system. Greatness. Wouldn't that be great for the legacy to continue in the minds and hearts of others? Joe Davis Jr., the first African-American firefighter. His name now is on the building as we renamed our Fire Station 1, Fire Station headquarters, in his honor. Now, we need to understand where we come from to understand where we need to go. And we have a video just to talk about those 3 events that occurred this year. 1968 was a historic year. 4,000 residents sat on the City Hall lawn. Governor Romney came down to participate in a dialogue about open housing. But the level of soft segregation was still in place until a law was passed here in the city of Flint. Passing that law said that Flint residents can live wherever they could afford to live. That was a marvelous day. The sacrifice that Floyd J. McCree made for us as we move forward. We're much more a community of victors, not victims. 1, 2, 3. We are one plan. I want to personally thank each and every one of you for being here today to honor these women, these great women. From now on, when children come to this great building, they will have the opportunity to read about these great individuals. Legacy is not about what you leave people, but what you leave inside of people. If we do not pass the torch, we'll be forever starting over. And that's why these busts have a permanent home in City Hall. The occasion here is to celebrate the achievements, the tenacity, and the vision of a person that came here that said he wanted to be a firefighter in this community. Our kids cannot become what they cannot see, especially for African-American young people. But we're changing that by living up to the examples that was left here by Mr. Davis. In honor of the renaming of Fire Station 1, Joe Davis Jr. Fire Department Headquarters, given this day in 2022. Mr. Davis. As we It's important to commemorate those historic events in our community. one community, one Flint, black, white, rich, poor, Republican, Democrat. It doesn't matter. Every room has a floor, every room has walls, and every room has a ceiling, but it's one room. We have to learn how to work together better, how to de-escalate our differences, how to figure out tools and pathways to our success, making Flint a destination site not only for Genesee County, not only for the state of Michigan, but for the rest of the world. We have so much greatness here, so much history here. We have to change our focus, moving away from the major manufacturing industry that created Flint, but definitely diversifying our base, building an ecosystem that's going to support education and quality of life for residents inside the city of Flint. As we continue to provide a facelift for downtown Flint, to be able to really speak to the needs of our society, we have just developed and put in place the Center for Children's Integrated Services that offers both mental health and primary health care under one roof for our young people. Here, give it a round of applause. You heard me talk about the new state park that's going to be in the old Chevy in the hole. This is repurposing property that once was manufacturing to something different. Now it's going to be recreational and also uplifting and engaging for people. Out of 83 counties in the state of Michigan, there was only one county that had not had a state park, and that was Genesee County. Through the great work and the partnerships in which we have, we were able to engage our partners to bring about an opportunity for Genesee County to have its first state park, but not in Grand Blanc, Flushing, or Davison, but right here inside the city of Flint. We're working to repurpose property, the old Mott Park Golf Course, looking at extending that pathway for our state park, continuing to improve on our landscape. And I want to take a small moment to pause to talk about Arnold Brown, which is the director of our Blight program. The Blight Division is doing a great job. The city of Flint, 506 miles, and 5 or 6 people, it takes a big toll for them to get out there and really do the work. I want to commend Arnold Brown because he doesn't just lead his troops. He works side by side with those individuals as we are building a better, stronger way to reduce blight in our community. But definitely we need your help. Flint should no longer be a dumping ground for people to come and just dump their trash. I've never seen a bed with legs, and I've never seen a toilet with wheels. So when it gets out to the curve or a lightly inhabited area, we know somebody's dumping. If you see something, say something. And we have initiated a partnership with our friends at Crime Stoppers to give bounties out for those individuals that are dumping and treating our community like a garbage can. And any tips that leads to the arrest and conviction of those individuals will receive a reward up to $2,000. And this is just not residential light dumping. Some of this is commercial dumping. These tires in vacant structures and buildings is problematic to our health and safety and welfare of our Flint community. So thank you, Arnold Brown, for being a part of the team which came out of retirement to come back to work for the city of Flint. Now, when we talk about those individuals that treats our home like a garbage can, we have to educate our children not to. They cannot see, but they will not become what they cannot see, but they will emulate the things that they do see. Through our partnerships with Genesee County and the Genesee County Land Bank, we have taken the American Rescue Plan dollars and purposed $16 million that populated itself to $39.5 million to eliminate all residential blighted structures inside the city of Flint by 2024. 2,200 homes will be demoed inside the city of Flint. That deserves a round of applause. But when we think about demolition, let's not stop there. What's next? The next is about building building our community back better and stronger with a new mentality, with a new sense of purpose. It takes leadership, it takes partnership, and it takes all of us working together. What happens when we knock those 2,200 homes down and those structures down? We have to repurpose that property to be able to get new families and attract new families and businesses to come to the city of Flint. That is the quest for the next 4 years. When I first got elected 3 years ago, we talked about the high-hanging fruit, fixing our pension system, making sure that we had qualified individuals working in law enforcement, making sure that retirees would not lose their retirement, bringing industry and businesses to our community. Through the blessings of God and our partnerships, we have accomplished those things. Moving forward for the next 4 years, we have to keep our eye focused on the very thing that we're all working toward. Not the small disagreements and not what keeps us divided. Not 9 wards, but one very much united City of Flint effort, moving us together for a general purpose, for our future. Flint is a great place to live, work, and play, and we have so much to offer. We talked about our arts and our culture, our parks and recreation, the world-class museums. We talked about the new jobs that's coming. We talked about the landscape of our downtown area changing and the understanding that we will and are a thriving community, that we are a major municipal community. And this community, together, we are strong. We are much more than a victim, but we are victors. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for joining us here for the State of the City. God bless you.
Rolling over.